Welcome back, everybody, to the Stanley Parable. This is King Python here, and I'm gonna jump. Whoa! Well, that's a far jump. Ow! Where's my radio? I dropped it down here. Wait a minute. Where do I go from here? I guess I'll go this way. Yes? No? Can't tell. Oh, I'm falling. Where am I falling? Mr. Voice, I need you. Oh, hello. Well, this is an old building. Let's go this way. Okay, let's go this way then. Just follow the openings. That's all I gotta do. Wait a minute, is this the original? Like the original? There's light. Light is always a good sign. What the? Okay. I do like light. Light is always good. 427. Hey, it's my desk. It's different. Looks new. Oh, cool. What the hell is that in there? Well, where am I supposed to go from here? Where do I go from here? Okay. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
Shouldn't you know?
I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
Sure you do.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Are you sure?
The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Are you trying to kill me?
I can wait.
He's trying to kill me. I feel like he's trying to kill me. Alright. Is it restarting now? Oh, I'm sad. I want to do some more Minecraft. Okay. Oh. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why does this look different? I could have sworn it used to go that way. It looks a lot different. Everything's changing in here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, shut up. Alright, let's continue on.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might come into a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
I didn't.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
No, stop it. Nope, I'm not gonna listen. Load it up. Hey, look. There's the picture of the thing on the desktop. Okay. Open up this thing.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Sure. I love how there was just a hole there and I walked right over it. Alright, let's get this quick, man. Hurry up. I got things to do. I have people to kill. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Yes.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Happy? Okay. Happy now? Button. I press it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I've been here.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What did it hold, Mr. Narrator? You tell me, because I already know what it held.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. Lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah.
This mind-control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Probably. That's probably exactly what happened.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Yes, it was.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Guess so.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
But, no, it's not letting me. No. I love my job too much.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes, I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
No, I just want my job back.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Me neither.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Why not?
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Sure.
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Sure you do.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Apparently it does.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Okay.
You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces.
Okay.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
What? What were you gonna say? Happily ever after, maybe? Sorry I wasn't talking through most of that, guys. I was just trying to focus on what to do. It's kinda hard to do that. And it's began again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sure I did. Come on. I know there's a secret with this door. Okay, let's continue then. Because I know this will be better.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm going, alright? Don't have to keep telling me I know where to go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Oh, you're not going to say anything again? Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, I'm doing it.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now.
Probably.
Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Okay, thank you. That makes it a lot easier. If you don't have to keep doing that. You can make this part easier too. This ride is taking forever, you know, it's just so slow. Oh boy. Alright, come on, Mr. Narrator. You can do it. I know you can. Just let me go. Alright, let's do the next one.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes, indeed, I did. Now let's quickly do this.
The lights rose on an enormous
Yes, I
room
know.
packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Apparently I do, because I keep going. I'm coming for you, Martha.
Now the monitors
There's my
jumped
wife,
to
I
life,
know it.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's
Everybody's
co-workers.
gone.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Alright, so where's the thing? I kinda wanna see what that one is. Something right across.
This mind-control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Yes.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Yes.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yes, it was, because I'd seen the place.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
It is.
It was unthinkable.
No, it's not.
Wasn't it?
No.
Was it even possible?
Yes.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I guess so.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Indeed.
Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
All right.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
You're right.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
And I did. I worked hard for that. Come on. Go. What's going on? I see something.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
What's going on?
Was it over?
Is it?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
Really?
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I wish I could. Alright.
Stanley felt the
No, I wanna
cool
look back.
breeze upon his skin.
Look back.
The feeling of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I'm not happy. I didn't figure out what was going on. Beat the game. Okay, I beat the game then. Apparently not, because it's sending me back. Alright, come on. Let's find the other endings then. Because I'm sure there's more than one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Could it be?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Come on, I can do it. Why don't you just get up? Oh. How did I get up here, actually? Okay. Just walks through glass. Apparently I can do that. Walk through what the...
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So,
Sure.
now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Nah.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
Probably.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place.
Probably not.
Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one?
I don't know.
Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky.
How come?
Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I kind of want to go see what the other option is. How do I get out of here, though? Alright, let's go back and try the other option. So I want to see what's going on. What the what happened?
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
I want to go back out. No, I want to go back out there. Wait. You got back out, Harry.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game.
Okay.
So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
I really want to see how this is going to last. Oh, he's not going to do anything?
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Oh.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
Oh,
What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
Hey.
He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Well, fine.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Oh, gee, thanks.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Alright, thanks. The music is calming. Music is actually very calming, but I guess we should get back. Alright. Oh, they're Alright guys, well I'm going to leave it off here. Thank you so much for coming out, taking some time to watch this. If you liked it, gently press that like button because it's been abused way too many times. And thank you guys, stick around because I'm going to have more content coming out. I will see all of your beautiful faces in the next video. Bye!